Alright, in this video I'm going to be explaining what the difference is between disk cloning and a disk image. What is the difference between disk cloning and disk image? Disk imaging and disk cloning both achieve the same end result. They replicate the contents of a hard drive, data, files, software, the master boot record, the allocation table, and everything else needed to boot and run your operating system. So what is a disk image? A disk image is a file that stores all the information required to completely restore specific disks exactly when they were when the image was taken. It essentially compresses all the data to your hard drive into an image file. What is disk cloning? A disk clone is an exact copy of an entire hard drive or specific partitions to a hard drive. Well, that doesn't make any sense. What does that mean, right? So here are a couple differences. Disk clones are uncompressed. Disk images are compressed. Disk imaging is slower. Disk cloning is faster. Disk imaging creates a file that can be disseminated to as many hard drives as you want. Disk cloning clones the hard drive only to one other hard drive. Disk imaging creates a file that can be used for archiving. Disk cloning does not. Disk imaging creates a file that can be used to make a one-to-one copy of the hard drive. Disk cloning only clones the hard drive there and then and only to one hard drive. Disk imaging can clone a disk. Disk cloning cannot create a disk image. Unlike cloned drives, a single hard drive can store disk images on it. Disk images can also be stored on optical media such as flash drives. So what does all that mean? Disk imaging is taking all the data on a hard drive and turning it into a file that can be saved for later or disseminated now and in the future to one computer or as many as you want. Disk cloning is directly copying that drive to one other drive right there, right now. So that's basically what it means. Um, a When you clone something, when you clone a disk, it means that you're cloning that disk right there, right then, right there, right? You're not cloning it to any other drive. You're not creating a file that can be saved for later. You're cloning it right there, right then. Okay? A disk image is basically you create an archive file, an ISO image, that can be saved for later and used for later and also used for many more machines than simply just one. So that's the difference between a disk cloning and a disk image.